Sup, dude? You're gonna need one of these. Cause it's time for Dudes After Dark. Let's go!
Technology, me. That's why we're 5 minutes late. Sorry about that, everybody. But we are here. We are live. We wanted to keep you on your toes to see if you would stick around with us for one of the most epic shows we have ever had. Because we got Big Ed back. We got Johnsy here. We got Damon here. And we got Shaw freaking Grigsby. The man, the myth, the freaking legend, the guy that's done it all in the fishing world. Super excited for this show here tonight. But as always, brought to you by Garage Beer. I was only going to have one, but after that, maybe 2 or 15. But I'm not doing it here tonight on my own. And the guys in the back, I have no control, so you're going to have to bring yourself in. But first, out of the West Coast, the California that's been born in Guinean, the artichoke grilling, poncho wearing, getting called into work 30 times a week, but still able to make it to the show tonight. We're grateful for it. Climbing from the top of the towers down to the bottom of the cellars, wrestling boilers, growing gardens, and living life to the fullest. Right out of the West Coast, Johnsy.
What is up, my brother?
What's up, dude? I'm good.
I'm glad to be here. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm glad we're all here. Yeah, 5 minutes late, but it's all good.
Dude, I literally got all those motors running in 30 minutes or 40 minutes to be able to leave and come back and make the show.
I would have told them you're paying me for 4 hours for that.
Automatically, too, so.
Hell yeah. Look at you double timing.
Double digits on double time. Let's go.
Gotta love double digits. So we got we're back to 4 co-hosts tonight, so we got a third one to bring in here. And this is our South Kakalaki friend, our segment soothsayer. That's a sensational producer professional. The three-time people's champion of Beans Go In Chili at a chili comp because they don't believe in hot dog sauce. The miner of Carolina Gold, straight out of the 843, Damon Kite. Let's go.
What's up?
Let's go.
Hey, man. So if we 5 minutes late, that just means we just get to go 5 minutes later. That's all.
Yeah, that's right. It's 5 minutes less to the intro that people really probably even care about anyway.
Yeah.
They're here for this one. I know people are here for this. Our fourth leg here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're just a tripod, one of the most dangerous vehicles in all the ATV world. So you need that fourth wheel to stabilize things, and I think this guy's going to do just that. Also out of the California, and I don't like how we have 2 of you on these shows nowadays, but it's like a disease is multiplying. We're getting the ones that are just, we want to bring the remaining good hope of California all on the show all at once. So that's Johnsy and this gentleman here, the voice, the face of the Bass Angler Magazine Bass Trail, a man that knows anything and anybody and even knows how to catch about any kind of fish you could possibly want. Straight out of Northern California, high up on his castle, on top of his mountain, where he cut down all his beautiful trees, but a man that used to go TikTok live with me, shirtless in a hot tub, Big Ed.
What's up?
The man, the myth, the legend.
Hey, we're gonna put all the West Coast on one side.
Hey, well, here's the deal. Well, you gotta make sure we're on the left.
I didn't say, you're supposed to be on the left.
Yeah, you got him on the right side. Damon. Don't.
We can't have this. Sorry.
Can't have that. So, how's everybody doing? I mean, been crazy week here. It has been a blur, but it's been a good week. It has been a productive week. I am excited to hang out with you guys here with these garage beers, but enough about me. What about you guys? Big Ed, guess first, of course.
Always.
It's been a great week. No.
All right. And for more live action, tune in every Saturday, Sunday on the Bass Angler Magazine train, where it's guaranteed to shake you out of your socks.
Yeah, we were definitely. This week has been a long. Well, it's just been a long week. I mean, we had the tournament this weekend, work every day. Then you go to the tournament this weekend. Been up at Lake Almanor. Now, you can't complain about being up at Lake Almanor. It's probably one of the most beautiful lakes in all of California. The fishing was nice for all the guys up there. They had some good events. We crowned a 2-time champion now, a young kid, and he comes up there and he does a great job and wins. Not only did he win in Yuma, Arizona, the second stop of the tour, he comes up to Lake Eleanor, knocks it down again, wins that one as well. So yeah, it was a great weekend. It's been fun. It'll be a day off. I thought I was going to get one today, but I did not. I don't get it one until tomorrow. And don't knock on the door because I'm going to be the guy sleeping tomorrow.
Well, don't say that around us because anytime we say something around Johnsy, like the worst case scenario happens for Johnsy. So I'd be careful.
Yeah, Tony likes to. I think it's like a weird thing where I think he's trying to phase me out or something. Because every week when I'm on call, hey bro, you good? You gonna make it? And literally minutes later, boop.
So Johnsy, you are saying Tony did start that today?
Don't you dare take sides,
bro. Hey. Operations has receipts, bro. We don't delete anything. We manage the company.
It is not.
It's all in the text receipt.
All I want to say is the crane didn't malfunction until Damon said something.
Nope. I told you don't put that on me, Ricky.
You chimed in and brought up prior events,
exactly,
which were already true. I was just throwing out, "Hey, are you going to make it?" Damon starts throwing out specific events.
We just don't ever talk about it on Fridays or Sundays.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah,
we don't talk about Bruno. So Big Ed, we got Shaw on tonight. Thank you for hooking this up. For a little backdrop here on him, Shaw was basically the face of Walmart fishing aisles in the 90s and 2000s on Strike King. If you bought anything Strike King, soft baits, spinner baits, hooks, gap hooks, snell hooks, Shaw's beautiful mustache was on all of it because he was up there like pre-Kevin Van Dam back when it was all over ESPN.
Definitely.
He was going up against Shaw was one of the guys. Still is one of
and that's the thing right there. Shaw is still one of the guys. Still out there doing it.
Right. Yeah.
This is I hate to age him or say too much, but he is honestly one of the, if not the reason why I got into fishing the way I did. I watching him fish, watching his show, watching everything, him and Bill Dance and all those guys with their shows out there. It was what influenced me a lot to get into this sport, and I loved it. And back then, we didn't have this kind of technology. Everybody wasn't walking around with a camera in their pocket. Everybody wasn't walking around, so it was absolutely 100% great to, you'd go home and you'd watch TV on the weekend and it was fishing shows. And Shaw Grigsby out there. I finally got to meet the man, and I can't, never your idol. They'll never be they're gonna be, right? Shaw was absolutely exactly what I thought he would be. He was one of the nicest guys I ever met. He has always been a super nice guy. He's always been just. He's funny to talk to. He has so many great stories. This is a guy that the first time I ever did an interview with him, I said, what is it you're going to be doing, when you go home this weekend after fishing and all that? He said, I'm going home and I'm going gator hunting.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And, if you just look at some of his, I think it was about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, he put up a post where he's out there. He's got a gator down. He's sitting on top of him. He's got it wrapped up. It's like, okay, this guy is out.
By the way.
He gets done with what he's doing with bass fishing, all stuff, gator hunt. It's like you gotta respect that, because I'm not saying he's an old guy, but he's not a young guy either, So, it's great. It's just great to see that he still has that passion for the sport and for so much other things out there in this world. I mean, he is how you want to live your life, man. Just keep doing it.
That's right.
Just keep on keeping on. He's like a real life Joe Dirt.
Exactly.
But
life's garden, dig it.
Without the mullet.
But a little more classy. A little more classy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but you have to respect that mustache. I have said that for God, that thing.
Preach.
Right? I mean, you look out there and it's, y'all heard Reynolds and all that. Oh, Oni. Shaw's got him beat.
Right.
What I like about Shaw is that Shaw used to be like, we don't want to blow all the, he'll save some up here for him. But no, it's really cool. And again, this is an awesome collab series we're going to do here with Big Ed and Bass Angler Magazine Tournament Trail and Bass Angler Magazine in general. July 26th, we actually have Ish Monroe as the next chapter in this fun book. And I think Big Ed knows I'm pretty excited on that one too. John Z, another California guy,
Here we go.
There we go.
You're booking them, not me, bro. It's not my fault, dude. I told you the state's great. They've messed it up into some terrible areas, but
tonight you got Flo Rida. We got the majority tonight, so we'll give you majority next time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the deal. We're diamonds in the rough out here, all right? Guys like me and Ed, we're diamonds in the rough.
Okay. We'll give you that.
We might be disfigured golf balls in the rough also, but I'm going to go with diamonds. It
could just be rock. It could just be rocks in the dirt, but whatever.
Yeah, right.
What if Dude Network is the solution to this hate against California? What if we're done by the time we're done? Like, man, California is.
I will tell you what I did. I have my own podcast, the Bam Pod, and we do one. And I just talked to one of my favorite anglers to talk to also in Zach Thompson. And we talked about exactly that. All the stuff that's going on back east, all the talking back east, all the garbage, the hate, hating on the different tournament organizations. But out here, you can look to the left coast. And this may be a one-time thing. It may be a lifetime thing. I don't know. But we are actually pretty drama-free when it comes to our sport right now. Like, we're not complaining about forward-facing sonar. We're not complaining about how the young guys are coming up. We're just so hungry out here in the West Coast for the attention.
You don't have any guys with leads and things.
No, we have no major cheating scenarios. Exactly, 100%. And I think that a little bit of that is, I think a little bit of that is just the fact that you get caught cheating out here. There's some issues you're going to have to go through.
Yeah, it's not just like, you ruined pike fishing or whatever, walleye.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in a lot of trouble. Dude, you cannot. The one thing I will never do anything to catch any bad juju around is the outdoors. Because if I ever got hunting or fishing or any kind of stuff taken away for any amount of time,
it would be forever.
Oh, it would break me. And that's the thing. It's not going to be a year. It's going to be minimum 5 to 10 to 15 to live. You're not hunting or fishing. They take dude, I've seen them impound trucks, campers, quads, guns, take everything from a guy.
Take it on.
And that's it. Done.
Done.
You can't jeopardize any of that stuff.
Yeah, I won't do
this.
This
show's just getting started. And this show is going to get even. We're going to crank it up a notch right now because it's
up to 11?
12.5.
12.5.
12.13 gigawatts.
Nice.
Wow. The reason I say that is because I saw like all these billboards for Back to the Future musical in Cleveland. Definitely don't know how I feel about that. That's a different topic and a different show. But first, all right.
Okay.
So let's get down to it here. I put on my fancy new fishing shirt. Came with a front pocket. So I've even got my UPF 50 on for this one. I'm ready. I am ready.
Nice.
All right. So
bring on the shining star then.
Supreme out of Gainesville, Florida. A man that's had 16 Bassmaster Classic appearances, 191 times in the money, 9 first place finishes on the Bassmaster, 10 second place finishes, or as they say in bass anglers, 10 first losers, 5 second losers, and 60 where he was in one of the top 10, 9 losers behind the winner. 98 top 20 finishes and 130 top 30 finishes. Listen to this. Total weight turned in on the Bassmasters.
Ooh, okay.
And he's so close. He's got to get.
It's almost 5.
Oh, it's so much more than that. With a grand total of 99,521 pounds and 1 ounce. Holy God, that's a big number.
I thought it was like 5,000 or something.
An absolute honor, the face of Strike King and the face of my childhood tackle box and many others. Let's face it, he's probably still in there. Shaw Grigsby.
Nice.
Oh,
Welcome to the
goodness.
network, Shaw. You are now anointed.
I gave you fair warning.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So he also told you that it goes way downhill real fast after
Right.
Yes.
She said yes.
We come with a disclaimer now. Awesome.
Yeah.
We've made it.
We made it. Hey, and he still agreed to it. So either there was bad fishing tonight, there were storms coming in, or he just needed a break, which probably.
Well, hold on. Maybe he owed Ed some money or something. And this
It is true.
Oh.
Hey, what pictures does he have of you, Saul? I want to know. Well, welcome.
No. Definitely doesn't owe me any money. We the last time we were together was ICAST a couple years ago now, and it was absolutely a blast. But I'll be back out there this year, so I'm hoping that you're going to be out there as well.
Absolutely.
And Mark, I got that book fired up, and he's got us, and we're absolutely heading out there. Going to be hitting up some people for some sponsorships for the new BAM Trail, and hopefully we can grow this thing up. We want to be, we want to attract them to Florida to come down and start fishing with us out of California. I know how much Joe actually likes fishing in California, so he's talked about it plenty of times. And it's there's great fish down here, and it's like I want to get some of these guys. I'm gonna bring them across the country and bring them back with me and see if I can get them to start competing out here on the West Coast for some money and stuff.
I'm always in for West Coast.
One of us.
I
One of
love
us.
coming out there.
Shaw, you will not see me at ICAST. There's something about pre-existing conditions. There's some fun, right? But Shaw, seriously, man, thank you for joining us here tonight.
Yeah.
It's a big honor for us, and we're just really happy to have you on here, man. And so, you did a lot of Bass Masters. Do you still compete in the Bass Masters trails? Because you got 79 pounds you still need to get to that 100,000 total pounds caught. I mean, how do we feel about that?
Well, first off, I think that's got to be a misprint, but
it's on bassmaster.com on your profile. So I'm just reading the stats, sir. I'm just reading the stats.
Yeah, I compete on the Major League Fishing Tour, and the one I'm fishing right now is called the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals. And,
Nice.
So actually, I'm on my way to go to Champlain, and I'm actually going to stop at Cayuga. So I'm sitting in a motel room right now.
Oh,
and,
we're
isn't
in
that
it.
a beautiful background you got?
Yeah, the same background the last night, so I feel
Hey, we're
that's
on
the
the
Hamptons.
tournament
He's got
trail
the
with
Hamptons.
Shaw Grigsby, folks. We're on the tournament trail.
Yeah, I am. I'm definitely on the move, and so I'm actually going to fish a day or two on Cayuga. It's just awesome and a lot of fun, and just to play around and have fun. And then I'm going to go on over to Champlain, and we'll kick it off. I think we practice Tuesday, so Monday I'll be driving there. Tomorrow I drive to Cayuga, and so anyway, I'm full swing on the Major League fishing, and yeah, I'm kind of like I heard some of your stuff at the beginning about all the drama, and I don't play with none of it, man. It's all just bogus.
There you go.
I'm sitting here. I think drama is just worthless, not worth discussing. But I did watch the MLF today, the Bass Pro Tour on whatever that river is they're on. But yeah, and it was really cool. But man, that's like beautiful water and a lot of fish, and so it was just fun. And we've seen a couple tournaments where Forward Sonar's not the biggest player. This one's obviously some of it because they pick fish out. They see some of them. They see some on the brush pile, see some on the stumps and stuff like that. So you have a little bit of it, but you got guys just doing old school, pitching trees and wacky worm and everything. So it's fun. It's fun.
Nice.
Yes, it is.
And Big Ed and I talked about this. I don't see the big deal in it. You still have to find the trees that hold the big fish.
You still have to attract the fish.
I'm almost at the point I hate sonar. I would rather just convince myself there's just no fish there. It's really bad. You get these little spots underneath you, and you're like, man, I just suck at fishing.
I got it. I'll tell you all the story. So, Florida, we have some beautiful clear water springs. I mean, water comes out. It's just, it's crystal clear. You can, see 30, 40 feet easy down. And so I take Rick Clunn. We're there to do a photo shoot, and I take Rick Clunn to one of my favorite places. He's with Tim Tucker, an outdoor writer that's since passed, and myself and Pete Laveris, which used to fish on the tour. So I take him there, and it's beautiful. And I'm thinking he may have caught a good one. Maybe Tim did, but whoever caught the big fish for the photo shoot. And afterwards, I asked him, I said, because it's just the most beautiful place in the world, and you got these fish swimming up, and you get to see them, and you make your cast at them, and they either bite it or they don't. And it's all sunglasses. It's not nothing else. And I asked him at the end of the day, I said, well, what'd you think? Because I'm just like, this is the greatest place ever. And he said, I hated it. And I went, what? He said, yeah, I'm so used to going to a tree, and I make a cast, I make another cast, and if I even do a third cast or whatever, but I don't get a bite, there's not a fish in there, right? And that's his confidence level. And he says, I look down there, and there's 15 of them in there, and I'm not getting any of them to bite. He said, I hated it. It breaks his confidence. And I'm like, that's
somebody
crazy.
It's soul crushing.
He did
it's the same thing as forward sonar. You'll see them, and you pitch, and some of them you get to bite, some of them you don't. Some really look. You've got you pitch on a lot of fish before you go catching them, and you learn how to catch them. So it's a whole different deal with forward sonar, and I love it. I truly love it. Addicted to it. I think back on the Alabama rig. How crazy it was to eliminate a product that is catching them, and that brought so many more people into the sport because they were catching them with it. And I threw it, and I never had great success with it, and yet a lot of people did. So you know what I mean? You have to learn every bait, every technique, everything aspect of fishing. You have to learn it. You have to learn it, perfect it, and get good at it. And
absolutely,
there should be none of this, drama about it, like outlaw it or do whatever. It's crazy. Just let's go fishing and enjoy every minute of it because it's a great sport.
Well,
Shaw, you say that too, and it's one of those things. I just had this interview with Zach Thompson. We talked about that exact thing. Guys, just the drama part of it. It's what was really brought up was how a lot of the older anglers that are out there are complaining that, these young guys are coming up and they've got this great advantage, this forward-facing sonar, and they're not learning to fish the correct way. They're not doing it the old ways, and my ways are right, and their ways are wrong. And, that's what the big, pouting bit, and it's like, you're your butt kicked by people willing to put in the work. But it's just like back in the old days when computer games first came out, Atari and all that, and they had joysticks. The Navy was recruiting those kids that have been playing with those joysticks and playing with that for so many years because they were growing up with the technology. And to put them in a plane and get them to fly planes and to do all this stuff and control all this new technology, that was who you wanted to have. Well, that's kind of happening now. These kids are coming up with technology like you've never seen before. So when they turn that on, they're just used to it. They're just ready for it. They just turn it on and go, right? And it takes a little more time for someone else to, a Rick Clunn is not going to turn that machine on. A Shaw Grigsby is not going to turn that machine on and know exactly how to use it. But guess what? You have the technology, you have the intelligence to do it. You know how to do it. You just have to go out and do exactly what you just said. You have to put in the time and learn it. May take a little longer, but it's doable, and everybody has access to this technology. That's why when they talk about, think about when they brought out the Alabama rig, right? The Alabama rig came out, and everybody's like, "Oh, we got to ban this. It's going to ruin bass fishing. It's catching every fish, and you can't." And now it's very rarely. It's like something that every once in a while you hear. If you want to ban something that's changed bass fishing, I don't know. Let's ban the jig, right?
Right.
Let's get rid of the purple worm. Let's get rid of that stuff that has 100%.
Let's get rid of drop shotting
forever.
When those damn devil bait caster reels came out and all these guys could cast 20 times a minute. Bullshit.
I mean, you can go back to Bassmaster number 1. Do you think that the guys would be willing to, oh, you know what? You can have 9 pounds of tackle in your tackle box, and you can have one electronic that all it is a flasher. You look at this all day. I have a feeling that technology has come along, and this is always going to advance, and this sport is always going to change. And for me, I think that's a great thing, because it's always going to be. If you just get stagnant and stale, what's he doing? Right?
Yep.
Well, okay, so Damon, John Z, and me, we're not, we go fishing when we can. We're the ones that take kids out fishing, take a 2-day fishing trip here. That technology, like you said, it helps us out. It's hard to not get out a whole lot and get in the rhythm. So if these things are out there and it's getting the youth and the younger generations out there and excited about it, I mean, I just think you got people kind of hindering the sport. John Z, Damon, do you guys feel the same way on that?
100%, dude. Dude, you have no idea how many miles I've put on these getaway sticks, bank fishing for bass, because I just love hook sets, bro. I love hook sets. And I have beat feet for miles of the California Delta to catch bass. And I have gone out with the technology and caught more fish on the bank than in the boat, and vice versa. It just doesn't matter. But I'm with you. I found it absolutely ludicrous that they banned the Alabama rig. Thrown them a bunch, same as you, Shaw. I mean, yeah, I've caught fish on it, but not it wasn't. I wasn't murdering fish out there. And I mean, I've skunked my buddy at the back of the boat where I'm not looking at the sonar too. So I mean,
yeah, I just use mine for the depth.
Why are we
y'all for depth?
I just use mine for depth.
Why are we upset? It's just, and I get it. The barbecue community is the same way. Like, you better learn on a stick burner first. You better if you call yourself barbecue and all you use is a kettle or this or this, like. Well, I mean, I hear you. Whatever, you got to cut your teeth.
He's so mad, Shaw. Johnsie's the one that we can just poke the bear the whole show.
It's just
every button. We know every button, so stick along.
I was gonna say, Shaw, how much do you use the forward-facing sonar when you're out there getting alligators? Does it work good for those two?
Oh, it's amazing. Now the forward-facing on alligator is not as good as a structure scan. So your side scan. Okay. So what you do is you watch him go down, like you'll see him out there, and then you kind of run on him, and he'll drop down, and then you're scanning, and you can scan, 60 each side, so 120 feet or 80 each side or whatever. The wider your zone, the smaller that gator is, right? Mm-hmm. So I kind of like it, keep it at 60 and think I'm pretty close to it. So anyway, you go by him and you'll see this little hook down there, and you go, there he is. And then you got to make a cast. I mark it, put a waypoint on it. And then my guys that big one we caught, that one the other day that I grabbed a hold of, I think it was 10-1. And we pitched and pitched and pitched and pitched. I mean, it was 15 minutes. So that's him. He's right there. And finally I said, I think he's right here. And I made the right cast. I felt it. I jacked him up. And at least I got to play too that day, because they left me on the bank for the first gator, so I got to get in the boat, and I hooked that one up, and we fought him, and then got ropes on him and drug him back to the ramp. And that's when I got to, jump on him and close his mouth and let him tape him. But we have a lot of fun.
That's so badass.
It is. I mean,
this guy's
keep him alive. So
I mean, this guy's what 40 years? Shaw, you're what, like 45, 46 years old, and you still get off the water and go out and do that, right?
I turned 68 last month.
68 years old, and he's out catching alligators.
Yeah. And then the guy that's the nuisance trapper, Captain Ron Sanderson, he's a great guy. And Captain Ron, and he's my age, and we just have a great time. I drag my grandson a lot. He'll help. And then we have another guy that's a police officer that he helps. So there's a handful of us that do it. So the other night we went down, and that day that I got that 10-1, we had a 7 something. I think we got an 8-1, 10-1, and 2 over 7. And the last 2 we got, we came home and it was late. I got in about 11 and had been out there. We went to one place early and we got those 2, the 8 and the 10. And then we went to another place. We got 2 7s. But by the time I got back, I'm exhausted. I knew I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go fishing. Still got to do some fishing. Yeah. Anyway, and I'm laying in bed and Ron calls me, Captain Ron. He says, "Hey man, are you free? We got one right down the road from your house, and it's a big one on the highway." And I'm like, "Man, I am just climbing in bed. I got to get up in 4 hours to go." I said, "I really like to pass on this one." So he got another guy to go, but it made like the news because they filmed it. Because he had all these alligators in there, and I'm laying asleep. So I felt bad about leaving him out on that one. But yeah, we get a lot of nuisance calls this time of year, and it is a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Nice. That's a bucket list. It's always been a bucket list hunt, but I've always been like, hopefully whoever I go with will want it, because what am I going to do? I'm probably not going to eat a whole alligator.
Yeah,
I got to go to Florida and just wrestle them with Shaw.
Come on,
come on, Dude Network meetup goals. We're going to do wrestling.
Are you coming to ICAST?
That I might figure out a way to get off that exemption list if there's gator wrestling involved.
Oh boy,
ICAST is in Florida. Trust me, there's gators in Florida.
Well, Damon,
one reason why I will never reside there.
You know what? Gators are really scared of people, and the way they become nuisance gators is people feed them. People, get them where they're acclimated to you, and then next thing you know, they eat your dog or maybe a person. We had a person killed last year, but it's not very often. Literally, in most
hardly ever.
And because we hunt them, we have a hunting season, so they're actually pursued. Just like you go after deer or
they know
turkey or whatever. Those gators that get hunted, they are scared to death. They know the deal's up. And like I had a big one, probably a 12-footer on Rodman Reservoir. And I'm looking at him in binoculars, and he is a half a mile from me. And I'm looking at him, I went, "That's a big one, that's when we go." When I cranked the engine, he hauled butt. He just, and I'm like, man. Wow. They're really scared of you. You don't want to. I used to wade with them. When I was a kid, I bank fished. Okay, I wade fished a lot, and we would go to this lake, Noonan's Lake, our local lake there in Gainesville, and I would wade the banks, and it's just all cypress trees, and you're wading back in there. And you'd have a gator, and you didn't worry about them. They would swim offshore and go disappear. And so you'd keep fishing. Well, I had only one in all my years of wading there as a kid. I was going down the bank. It went offshore and went about, 40 feet off the trees. And I'm back in the trees about 20 feet, and I'm fishing. And as I got closer, it turned and started coming back. And I went, "I guess I better stop right here." And I turned around and went back the other way. So that was obviously a female protecting a nest and didn't want me around it. And I took the message real quick. I got it. I said, "I'm out of here." So that was it.
Now, Shaw, you do have one guy that's partially Floridian in here. He's up. You got Damon down here below. He's out of Florence, South Carolina. Now, Damon, do you do a lot of? What's the gator season like in South Carolina? I remember there is one when I lived over there.
It's all lottery. You have to put in for a lottery. And get picked.
You ever done the gator hunting, Damon?
I have not. Nope.
Are we all in on this?
Sure.
Hey, are we all
absolutely
on this?
So just for Damon, I'll tell you, My son got one. We got a little one a couple of years ago, and so he just gutted it and cleaned it and all that, and then he barbecued it.
Oof.
Oh my gosh, was that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
with
that's a
we'll cook it and we'll catch it and we'll cook
Yeah.
it.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. If it's
Woo!
all three of us, that's a catch and cook.
Yeah, we'll get meathead charcoal. We'll make that thing just do some dancing on that grill now. I'll tell you. Okay, so I got one for you, Shaw. When you're not bass fishing, you're not gator fishing. What's your favorite kind of fish to go after? And it can be saltwater or freshwater. In Florida, you know me, I'm
Good
big.
question.
I love getting after a mess of crappie and big old fat slabs.
Yeah. I love crappie fishing, but I can tell you my favorite fish to pursue is a tarpon, saltwater. It's this time of year. They're, you know, what I really like about them is they're big. You know, it's like a big giant shad, and they jump. They're insane. So it puts every bit of your fishing knowledge and skills to test when you hook one. And you know, I fly fish for them, but they're good on spinning tackle.
I was going to ask
baitcaster.
you
It doesn't
if
matter.
you fly fish for them.
But fly fishing for them is,
Murders
to me, one of the ultimate deals you can
Nice.
do in fishing. So I got a number of things that I think are really special in fishing. Fly fishing for tarpon, catching peacock bass to me is like,
that is the sickest bass.
Top water, and of course smallmouth up north in the Great Lakes or wherever. Those three, you know, great. California's really good too. You know,
hey, them NorCal bucket mouths, baby, we love them.
Oh,
out
here we
here.
go. Here we go.
Hey,
The one you can sit on the one you can sit on your head like a hat.
I want to catch one that big. That's the life goal.
No, that's the coolest fishing experience bass I got to do was down on Pelican Island, and it was on an airboat when they have like the special airboat levies that only airboats can get back to. And we went back there with like some bunch of, you know, June bug colored soft baits. We brought emerald shiners out there, and we just stayed on one spot, man. I've never caught so many big bass in my life in one spot. I mean, we ran out of shiners and started throwing hammer. That's where I got my 10-pounder.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't see them in Ohio. Do not see those. Okay, so what's your favorite northern state to fish? Like Midwestern state? Like something that's a little different out of the Florida, California, Texas. Like that's a harder, the size isn't as big up here. So what's your favorite northern non-traditional fishing state to conquer?
You know, like I said, I love anything
questions.
having to do with the Great Lakes. And it doesn't matter if it's, you know, from Michigan all the way across to New York. And those smallmouth are just insane, and they grow big. You know, we've got the gobies that came in, you know, and then they help, and the zebra mussels, they help clean the water up. The zebra mussel did. The gobies got in there, and the bass eat them like marshmallows, man. I mean, it's like a treat of a lifetime for them, and they're just growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're so aggressive. So, you know, those are my favorite lakes, you know, to fish. And like I said, I had one. I went up to Traverse City, Michigan, and I was filming one of these One More Cast shows. And I'm looking around. So we launched the boat, and we're going fishing, and I'm doing a spinnerbait show or something. And I'm going down the bank, and I'm hitting every little like rocky point that I could find. Anything that had a little bit of rock and gravel, throwing a spinnerbait, kind of burning it. They'd slam it. We're getting a good show. And I'm by myself. I had my camera crew. Well, I get to this spot, and it goes from rock to sand. And it's sand like you're at the Bahamas, it's like you're at the beach. So you have sand coming up, and then a drop, and then it goes sand coming up and a drop, where the waves have pushed this sand up. So you would barely get across on the high spot, and then it would drop down and be like 3 or 4 feet. So it'd be 4 feet deep and come up, and it'd be, you know, just right where your boat could just barely get across it. And I'd be going in these little troughs, and I look over there and I see something looks like a little black stick, maybe 6 inches long. I'd throw over there and that stick would move and eat the bait, and I'd set the hook. And next thing you know, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And these things were like 5 to 6 pounds, some even bigger than that.
Oh shoot!
And I said, this is cool. And we finished our show with the spinnerbait, and we left. And I had Earl Bentz coming in. I told Earl from Triton, I said, Earl, I think we got something special we're going to do here today. So he was there, and he's only there for a partial day. He had flown in, and so we start filming. And when we took a break at noon for lunch, he calls his secretary and he says, you booked me a later flight. I'm not leaving, because he had 5 that I guarantee would probably go 26, 20. His biggest was like 6'10".
Jeez, man.
And it's just like you being in Bahamas, crystal clear water, white sand, and you'd throw out there and those fish would come to it. And it was just intense. I mean, it was intense. So yeah, I think any of those Great Lakes I love going to.
Yeah, Traverse City's awesome. It's it's one of my territories for work, and you got your steelhead, you got your salmon, you got your whitefish over there, you got your walleye. I mean, you got your lake trout. It's a really cool fishery up there in Lake Michigan for sure. Big Ed, I know you probably got all kinds of stuff to get this conversation a little spicy here. What do you got?
For what? What do you want to know about?
I don't know. You're the MC. You're the person. Bring some personality.
I'm just really a shy guy mostly.
So am I.
Right? I will tell you this. I mean, so the first time, the very first time I ever met Shaw, it's absolutely funny. So there was an event here in California. It's called the X Games. Well, what was it called? Outdoor games, not the X Games, outdoor games. Shaw was full lake, and he goes out to dinner afterwards, and I go out to dinner afterwards. I've got to meet these guys. Their bows got autographs. I got a hat sitting over here, right in my safe right here. I've got a hat that's autographed by all these guys from the great outdoor games. I go to the restaurant. I look over. Here's Shaw, and he's sitting over there with his family. They're having dinner. They're doing their thing, and I'm trying to be that respectful guy who's not 100% just
fanboying.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm like, I gotta be polite. I gotta be nice. I want this autograph. I want to talk to one of media. One of my legends. One of my. This is the guy. I hate to say it, but this is the guy I grew up watching. just love this. I'm like, that is Shaw Grigsby. I've got to get that. I've still got. So I go and I'm wearing a tank top. It's like 100-something degrees at this tournament. I got a tank top on. That's a champion shirt, right? I get at it. I come up to this guy. So I wait till they're done with dinner. The waiter comes up before everything's done. And he looks over and he goes, oh, is there someone famous here? And I go, well, I mean, yeah, Shaw Grigsby's right there. Who? And nobody knows who fishermen are, right? In California, it's like you can tell them anybody. They don't know who it is. And I'm like, oh no, this is it. I wait. I go outside. I get him to autograph this shirt. I had to change this room recently, but it was here somewhere. I still have it signed, autographed, made a huge thing out of it and all this. That was the first time I got to meet him. He's out here in California. Go all the way back to Florida. I go out there for ICAST, and we go out to the Strike King dinner, and there's Shaw Grigsby. And I'm like, hey, do you remember me from this? And he's like, lying, but he said, yeah. So it's like, yeah. So we go through it, and it's like, oh, that's cool. So we go out, and we're out there. I mean, the only thing he talks about is this dinner. He's like, dude, he goes, you're not going to believe the size of the shrimp they're going to bring out. You're not going to believe the size of this. He's like, they got a shrimp tower that has all this. He's just enamored by this food. I'm like, okay, cool. So we go out. We're sitting there we're sitting in the bar. There was some college game on that he was totally into at this. California, college makes no difference whatsoever, right? We have zero interest in college. It's all about this. But you go back east, you get down south like that, college is king, right? That is all you get. He's watching this game. He's going off over there, coming off. We go down. We finally get over there. There's no chairs. I'm like, God, I can't sit next to me. Well, Kevin Van Dam gets up and he leaves. And he's going to do something, going to the bathroom, going to get a drink, doing something like that. And I look over and here's Kevin's wife. So I sit next to Kevin's wife. I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. And I'm sitting there and Kevin comes back and I said, you left, dude. This is on me. So we get up and it's like after the dinner and Kevin doesn't care. He's kind of like, all right, cool. You can just have it. You can just sit next to my wife. We get up and start. And this guy over here starts hitting people that I'm hitting on everybody. I hit on the waiter. I hit on the bartender. I hit on Kevin Van Dam's wife. I'm like, jeez. I can't tell people that.
I can't believe you'd also hit on Shaw. That's kind of inappropriate.
Yeah. I mean, his mustache is fantastic, but sir, there's a line.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a line, but that doesn't mean I won't do it. And I will cross it. So I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, and all I can think of is this is exactly the person. I said this before the show. Don't meet your idols. Don't meet the people you think are, whatever. I was so he's hilarious. He's fun to hang out with. The stories and stuff from ICAST, the things he did, the things that were out there, the what I watched. It was absolutely positively one of my greatest experiences just meeting this guy, and I'm glad he's always come on. And I'm glad I can call him a friend because I'll tell you what, he gave me Gary Klein's number and said, hey, call Gary. This guy's a guy that you want on there. It took me this year, Shaw. It took me this year for him to finally call me back.
Yes.
Finally had Gary Klein on. Shaw's my podcast with. I've had Gary Klein on that podcast. I did not actually. I will take this for anybody ever asked me. Shaw said, you will not regret having him on your show. I don't think I said more than 10 words in that whole show. Gary started talking, and at the end of the show, I went, and that was a good show. And that's about it. I have never met anybody that not only you ask him a question, not only does he give you a question, accents the question by offering more to it, and then answers everything that he asked on top of what you asked with such detail. It's like, Shaw must have known this guy for a very long time because that's how it is. I mean, and when you talk to Shaw Grigsby, when you talk to Gary Klein, I cannot believe all the stories I hear, and it can't be the older guys that are causing all the drama, because I have talked to some of those older guys, and they are 100% all about the youth coming up, making it. I mean, how many times did you compete against a guy named Kevin Van Dam when he was young and he won? Did you whine about it? Did you cry about it? Did you anything? No. Mike Iaconelli. Was he loud? Was he crazy? Was he wide? Yes, 100%. Those guys were monsters, right? I mean, they were just beating everybody. But I never saw guys like Shaw Grigsby, like Gary Klein, like Rick Klein. I never, ever saw those guys complaining about it, whining about it, crying about it, wearing hats to say, fish more boat ducks and all that. So
ridiculous.
Right?
Tournament trail, you just learn to not care anymore. You just kind of get me into it. You're just like, I've caught almost 100,000 pounds of fish. What has that guy done?
No. The best part is this guy here and Kevin Van Dam and Shaw Grigsby taught me one thing when I was younger, when I was fishing stuff and I was fishing tournaments. And he said this: the first thing you want to do in this sport is learn how to be the best loser you can possibly be, because you are going to lose more tournaments than you will ever win. And if you can't be a good loser, you can't be positive, you can't be professional, you can't be the guy who, even when you lose, you go talk to these people and explain to them what you did today, whether it was wrong or right, whether you go out there and do it. That's what I learned the most out of everything that these gentlemen have ever taught me, is learn to be the best loser you can and be professional about it, because that's when you get the respect. That's when you get the ability to be up there. And this year with me taking on, being the MC of the new BAM trail out there, I have learned to watch these anglers come across the stage. We were just on beautiful Lake Domino. I mean, you talk about fish just absolutely crushed it. This is a lake that Gary Klein grew up on. It was Lake Elnor, and the beautiful smallmouth we got up there was just amazing. 190 something fish caught for the 1 or 2 days it was up there. These guys, 30 anglers going off with, everybody catching them. It's absolutely beautiful. But to watch these guys come across the stage and the way they behave, and it's a pro tour event, so the way they act, I absolutely 100% see what it means to know that you have to be a professional. Win or lose, you have to have your head held high and act like a true gentleman. And this guy over here, I've seen it for years. I have nothing but mass respect for what he's done. He's still out there at 68 years old doing this.
Right.
He's fishing. He's fishing against the some of the best.
Oh,
Huh?
back that 45 real fast.
Yeah.
Do what?
He backtracked off that 45 age.
Yeah, he did.
He's the one who put it out. He was 40. He was 68. I mean,
So I got a question, because everybody knows you for bass fishing, and obviously we hear some of the cool. I think that the guys who fly fish for tarpon, that's so badass to me. But if you could just anywhere in the world and go fish for any fish in any body of water, like bucket list trip, what would that be?
I'm an old guy. Okay. So I don't have too many bucket list things. There's only one thing that I always wanted to do and I've never done, and that's fly fishing for sails, sailfish.
Oh, yeah.
Costa Rica or whatever. Pretty much, that would be my last on the bucket list. But, like I said, the things that I've experienced, I mean, it's just incredible to go peacock fishing in Brazil and catch, 20-pound peacocks, 20
No,
pounds,
my
just
God.
and topwater bites. We had one day we're going, the water was real high and we're going along and it's flooded brush and stuff like that. And way back up next to the hard bank, we hear this just explosion. We look there and it looks like a bomb went off, and it was just a peacock. And the guide, all he can do is go, grande, big, and he takes off. He tries to get the boat through the bushes and gets to it. Well, I kind of throw where I saw the blow up, and my partner throws, 40 feet left. And so, I've hit mine once or twice, and he hits his. And it's like you dropped an F-150 out of the air on top of his topwater bait. It was so huge that the guy that gets the strike, his jaw dropped open and he froze. It scared him so bad because none of us had ever seen a blow up that big in our life.
Wow.
And it's just boom. And he's like, and I'm like, set the hook. And anyway, the bait floated up and he didn't catch this fish. No telling how big that peacock was. But some of the experiences I've had fishing
topwater
like that,
blow-ups
falcon when it was at its prime, when 5 going 25 was 50th place. That's impressive. You had to have 25 pounds to start to make a check in this thing. And I ended up, I think, 17th or 18th, and I didn't make the 10 cut or 12 cut. I think they took a 12 cut or something. Anyway, not 10 cut. Anyway, and if I'd made that, you'd have been over 100 pounds. Everybody that made that cut got over 100 pounds because it was 25 pounds a day just to get the check, not to be in the top. So that was the one where Paul set the record at 132 plus pounds, which is insanity.
Gosh.
So, I've had a long career. I mean, and it's been awesome. I mean, some of the places I've been have just been stunning. So I don't really have the bucket list items to do. I've done them, and doing that show for about 20 years. One more cast took me a lot of places and just got to have some great times. And so, that's probably the only thing that I haven't done. I actually experienced last year, this time, beginning of June, I experienced the ultimate day fly fishing for tarpon. A buddy and I had 34 eats, 34 tarpon eat our fly in one day. And most of them were really nice.
True.
So it was an insane day. So
that's when you're like, you almost get tired of catching them. Like,
No.
man, no, I know. I'm not. No, listen, I know that never happens, but it's like, you're like, your arms, like when you, it's like when I was snowboarding or something like that. You just throwing so many, like when you have that pause for a second, you're like, man, I'm getting tired, and then
yeah, do it again. Yeah. You know, those days are so special, and you just enjoy them and you remember them, and you know, now I'm you know, enjoying taking my grandkids, and I get to go fishing and let them experience you know, some really cool big fish in Florida. So yeah, it's
man,
you know, life's good. Life's good.
That, how about that? The Bass King
how about
taking
the fact
you fishing.
How about the fact that you look around and this guy's made a life out of bass fishing?
Yeah, that's
right.
so sick.
I mean, you talk about the road I want to go down so hard, and I know that I'm not going to be the professional angler that he is, or that some of these other guys have been. I will not make that. I've passed my window of opportunity for that, and I understand that. But now I'm on the mic. You put a mic in front of me now, you put me on a stage, you put me in front of 30,000 people, I'm happy. And it's one of those things that I love doing this, and I love being around these guys so much. Like I said, when we go to ICAST, when we go to this event, I like I said, I know I'm really shy and I try not to be too much, but I love being in front of those. And yeah, it's I would love to have the career that guy's had when it just comes to the opportunities that I've gotten to just see this world and to see the things that I've seen so far and to do the things that I've done so far. I can't wait. I hope it keeps getting better. I got at least another 20 something years before I catch up to him, but I'm ready to, you know, I watch the way he's done it, and I think it's absolutely amazing. Watching one cast for all the years I did, watching all these events, watching him do what he's done. It's this industry is so awesome. I mean, it is just absolutely, it is just so much fun to be with. The only thing that kind of sucks about it is it really comes down to who you know. So it's been my pleasure to kind of learn these guys and meet these guys and know them, because 100% in this business, it's who you know and when you get ahead. And I'm not looking for sponsorships right now for myself or anything like that. I'm not out there hunting and pecking for those things like those guys used to do. I'm on a different level now, and I want different things. But I think the avenue I'm going down right now is one that I can't wait, because I can do the vocal stuff for another 20 plus years without any issue. So yeah, this has been great to watch, you know, guys like Shaw Grigsby. It's always been a dream, you know, and watching his career, it's 100% what I'd love to see and love to do.
Well, we got and we're all happy that Big Ed, and it's good for the BAM show to have someone like you, so energetic to bring, you know, to bring that energy over here. Shaw, we're here at the top of the hour. We said we get you out. Damon, we had one question here that we wanted to highlight for Shaw from the crowd. And it's a really good one on something that has nothing to do with Florida, but I think it's a good opinion piece here. Dane, what does that say? I can't.
It says, Shaw. Go ahead. Go ahead, John. No, go ahead.
Shaw, how do you feel about commercial fishing and its impact on our fishery places like the Ohio River or other, you know? Yeah.
So, you know, commercial fishing and you know, we kind of deal with that, you know, across the country. Once it's a commercial fishery, they get very, very, very good at harvesting the fish.
Yes.
So, to the point where, you know, they can abuse that. They can harvest the majority of them, and some people don't have the scruples to look long term. So it's like I need to make my money now, and I harvest all I can, and then when that's gone, I move to something else, you know, another species. And so, you know, I have mixed feelings about that. You know, we need to have a commercial fishery, but they really need to have limits on what they do also. I think the sport fishing industry puts so much money back into these fisheries, into the fishery departments, and yet they're not given much of anything. Our saltwater right now, you don't have you can go catch 2 grouper and 2 snapper, and red snapper. You go offshore, it's like, what do you go offshore for? It's $500 or more for you to go offshore, and for 4 fish.
Negative.
And the commercial fisheries, they get to harvest thousands of pounds. And so, but you understand, you got to have restaurants and all this kind of stuff. You got to feed the world. But there's still things that kind of get me a little bit, is that I think that it can hinder the fisheries. If it's done right, it doesn't make, because it is a renewable resource. So if you're doing it right, then it's fine. But I can see that there are places and times that it does hurt the fisheries. We had commercial fishing netting of redfish in the state of Florida, and it made it where it was really hard to catch any redfish. And they limited that and changed the way they did things, and our red fishery is fantastic, So, yeah, it can be done. It just has to be done right.
All right. Yeah, nice healthy balance. I agree with that, and I do think that there's these very stiff penalties for even like first time offense, because if you're getting that liberty to kind of get the link check to do what you got to do, if you break what few rules you have, like, you're a scumbag. Throw them up, lock them up, lock them up, and throw away the key.
I was getting ready to go buy a bunch of big old lead weights for my next tournament.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Best was wrap some fillets and some wine, man, to stuff them down.
Well, winning is definitely that important, right?
That's crazy. Isn't that crazy?
No, that was
I thought it was a joke on the internet at first.
Yeah.
I literally thought these news reports were like memes. I'm like, who would do it? Like, that's dumb. And then I was like, oh, shit, this is really happening?
Yeah. That was a huge deal up here. That's all we heard about for freaking months, man.
Yeah.
Then they let the guy off scot-free, basically. Barely got a slap on the wrist. They had a chance to throw the book at those dudes, and they did not. And I was really about that.
Yeah. Because, Shaw, I want to ask Shaw this one thing. Yeah. So we all, you always hear in this sport, that any press is good press, right? So that's the only thing I ever said about those weights coming in there. Because you can answer this question too. You heard that headline. You saw that headline. How many people asked you? How many people that came up to you and said, "Did you realize that they were fishing for $100,000?" Because that's what came out. That's what came out of that press, was people all of a sudden went, "There's money in this sport." And I said, negative press even opens people's eyes, because I looked at him and went, "So what? So what? Hunting for a fish for $100,000? We go for $500,000. We fish for $1 million. We have anglers who are winning all this." I mean, that's the truth, right? I mean, they're out there. They didn't realize what we fish for. We told them at this event we just had on Almanor, first place took home just under $15,000 for 3 days worth of fishing on a lake up here in California.
Which is what you want to be doing anyway.
That's right.
It's like, that's what you want to be doing on your days anyway.
Right. You want to be a professional. You want to go out there and fish. How many times have you fished for more than $100,000 on the line?
Not even once in my life. Not even one time.
No, I mean, Shaw, you've been up there. I know. You fished the Bassmasters Classic. How many times have you fished for over $100,000?
I don't know.
$100,000
more
for a
times
prize.
than I can tell you. I've won $100,000 over. I know at least 3 times. Actually, yeah. Anyway, I won back-to-back, one top 150s, and almost won the third one, and then I had the Red Man All-American. I won for $100,000. So yeah, I've won $100,000 a few times, and it's fun. But it does surprise me that people would go to those links, and the walleye deal really surprised me, and then the Sealy deal was like stunning. I mean, I'm like, who's going to do that? Because those guys are. I mean, Sealy runs a good deal, and those guys, everybody loves fishing that. It's an hourly weigh-in, and they pay down to the top 5 or top 10 big fish and those things. I've never fished one, but the people that fish them, they love them. I figured I have to retire and not fish a professional tournament, I think, for maybe a year or 2 before I can go fish one of those.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. So Shaw, was today the first round of fishing?
Today was the final qualifying at the MLF. So you have Group A and Group B, and they both fished 2 days, and they take the top 10 from Group A and the top 10 from Group B. And those top 10 from each group, those 20 guys fish tomorrow. And Gary Klein is in that group, which is awesome. That's his first top 10 this year. His first, I know he's made cuts, but that's his first one that I know about, and he's doing really well.
Since you're getting up, you got to do it tomorrow. You made it?
Not me. I'm not fishing.
Oh, okay.
I don't fish till Tuesday. Tuesday is my first day of practice, so I practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is an off day, and then our competition is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We finish up Monday of next, not 3 days down the road or whatever, but a week. And I heard that there's a huge, big, New York or Vermont or whatever state giant tournament on Champlain the same time we're there. So on the weekend, so it'll be interesting and fun to battle it out with the locals too.
Oh, nice.
Guys, they're gonna love you guys coming in. Shaw, well, seriously, man, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Yep.
Thanks for hooking this up. Dame and John Z, I think we can agree this has been a really awesome show and a great opportunity to hang out with one of the best ever of tournament.
Yeah, it went by a little too fast.
Yeah.
Shaw, you just turn us into a 2-hour thing? I mean, we could. But Shaw, seriously, man, well, next time we talk to you, it'll be in the flush when we're down at Wrestling Gators with you.
Yeah, it won't be long. We're only just a little over a month out of being in Orlando for ICAST.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I'm not going to make it this year, but maybe next. Like the Cleveland Browns philosophy, there's always next year.
Always next year.
But Shaw, good luck this next week. Good luck to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for blessing us over on the Dude Network and hanging out with all of us degenerates on the other side of life. We dumbed you down a little bit. You go back and culture yourself. But Shaw, seriously, thank you so much. Dudes and Dudettes, the one, the only, the man that's caught 99,521 ounce of fish on the Bassmaster Trails, Shaw Grigsby. Thank you.
See you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes, man.
Oh, our pleasure. Seriously, it was an honor.
All
Thank
right.
Thank you, Sean. I will see you at ICAST for sure.
Yes, sir. I'll see you guys. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, guys, and we are behind on our commercial break. Big Ed, stick out here with us for another 10-15 after commercial break as we wrap this show up. We'll be right back after these messages as we restock on our garage beer. Let's go.
All right, we're mid-show, but it's time for us to have a beer break. Some of us don't have a fridge by our fingertips during this thing, so drink a garage beer, and we'll be right back after this message.
Cement products such as cement blocks, septic, and reservoir tanks. Stocker Concrete also offers cement truck delivery. Call Stocker Concrete 740-254-4626. Find them at 7574 US Route 36 at Janina. WBTC The Tusk is the season.
Water polo, a true sport.
Oh, here we fucking go, dude. Hey, it's the only sport that's in the Olympics. Suck it!
Hey, I didn't ask John. I asked Jeff.
Yeah. I think a part of me will venture into that land and say yes, because I think it does take some athletic ability.
Some?
But then there's also
Sir.
part of me that's like, nah.
Sir.
Not really.
Way to be good at
As a
swimming.
coach.
Because again, it takes talent to swim. I mean, there's people. I mean,
So
there's
listen,
people
half
that
the
drown every
game-
day. So again,
half
it
the
takes
game,
talent and a skill to get into a pool of water and not die.
Yeah.
I was like, what do people call you? And I'm like, my nickname's Night Train. They're like, nah, that ain't it. And they're like, Tony Dollars, because that was like when Lil Wayne was like becoming like real big.
It doesn't matter. Night Train wins hands down every day over Tony Dollars.
And then it became Tony, and then it became Dude Network. Yeah. So.
No, but you know what? No matter what, you'll always be Anthony to me.
Yeah, it's all Anthony. Yep.
I got some pork nuggets here. I got some creamy garlic parm here I'm going to try out, as well as some of the other flavors here. I got some of my favorites. You know, this is the Griff sauce. It also has it in potato chips. The hot garlic parm is also a new one. We have the dry rub ranch and even a limited eclipse. You can watch the total eclipse up in Tiffin, Ohio on April 8th, and they have a nice cool bottle to commemorate that. And another one that performed really well at MBBQA, the Garcasian. But let's try the creamy garlic parmesan. Hope the show doesn't suck, but cheers. Back to the show.
Boo, 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 boo.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, thank you again, man. That was awesome. That went way too fast. Way too fast.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough one to when you start talking to guys like that. It goes quicker than you wish you would go. Like I said, he is always. I just love that guy to death. He's always fun to hang out with. When we hang out, it is a blast. 68 years old and still does things that I don't see 20-year-olds do.
Right, wrestling gators after in the middle of tournament fishing.
Yeah. Dude, he's gonna go fish a tournament. He's got to get up at 4 a.m. and he's still out wrestling gators, and he's like, I gotta pass on this one. Hesitant.
He goes, can't me on this one. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'll still get there if you need me to. But.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like I don't know. I mean, you got to have a lot of respect for someone like that, and just he's yeah. I guess it's one of those things that when I always hear that, never meet your idols, never meet those people. In this sport right here, I cannot think of one guy that I have met that is one of my idols, whether it's Mike Iaconelli, whether it's Shaw Grigsby, whether it was Bill Dance, Orlando Wilson, Gary Klein, all these guys that I have met, I can 100%. I have absolutely 100% not been disappointed in a single one of my idols. I've got to meet guys like Brad Miller at fishing because he's into fishing. And yes, I'm still going to work on him. I'm going to get him on this show, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
He'll be coming in.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
I will do what I can, and I will make sure that he's coming on here. We're talking some basketball, we're talking some stuff, and he's involved in fishing enough. And I've seen him at a bunch of the events. I just saw Randy Moss in an event, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be calling that old guy up and saying, "Hey, we need you on the show." So,
and just to clarify, Brad Miller, who played for the Kings, correct?
Yes.
Oh my God!
I actually brought. So we had an event
the Kings were the shit, man. That was my team.
We had a show that I was not emceeing for, but I was doing work on the stage. But there was another guy up there, Brad Miller. I see so we're out in front of Bass Pro Shops. We're in Rockland, and Bass Pro Shops had just opened. We had the event out there. We were in the parking lot. I look out in the crowd, and they're get on the mic for a minute. I'll put you up on the stage, dude. I got to get you up here. We got to talk. We got to talk about this. Absolutely jumped right up on the stage. Came up there. He's 7 foot tall or whatever. It's like, give me a box. But it's like, I'm up there. Guy is he's into bass fishing, loves being around it. Right. And it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, there's some amazing guys in this sport, and I have loved meeting everybody that I have. The only guy I'm working on right now, and I know he's watching right now, is Larry Bird. We're trying to get him on the show too.
Mm-hmm.
Happen. Randy Moss, everybody, don't even think that, actually.
Dude,
I have
I think I stroked out for a second, man.
Brad Miller.
I have heard from Tony. It's like you can't get Bird on here. You can't get Bird. Never, ever bet against me.
Never go get it. Hey, you get Larry Bird on here. The next Dude Network meetup is in your living room, brother.
I don't want you guys here.
You heard of that here first, too, unfortunately. Folks.
Yeah.
So, Damon, what'd you think of old Shaw, man? That was a pretty cool point of view.
Oh man, he's a legend for sure. He's been around the game for a good while.
Damon, what is catfish your ultimate fish you like to go after?
Yeah, that's pretty much all we fish for.
Now, what's your personal best catfish? The biggest you've ever landed?
We never worried about measuring. He was probably about, I don't know, that damn long and about that big around. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say 20 some odd pounds, 30 pounds.
Just curious. He's ate. Y'all kept to eat a lot of yours, right?
Not the ones that big, no.
Yeah, the ones that big kind of suck.
No, they taste kind of muddy.
That's what I heard.
That's the same thing about gators. You don't eat gators when they're that big. You 10-footers, 12-footers. You don't eat those.
No,
you eat the ones that are like in what's
like
that movie?
4 or 5 foot range.
No, not even that. Everything I've been told, you want the really good ones. If you ever watch what's that, Waterboy, and she's got it. His mama makes them on the table. They're they're like maybe 2.5, 3 feet.
Yep.
Those are the ones you want to eat. They're saying those are the good ones.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Right.
So
if you're barbecuing them, I heard that's really good.
Yeah. I figured since we're catching them with Grigsby, we might as well fucking throw one down,
You know how to barbecue, right, Jonesy? So if we get down there and we get one, that's got to be the show right there, right?
Absolutely.
From farm to table.
Yeah.
From swamp to table.
From Florida backwoods to your table. Only on the Dude Network.
We'll make a pit stop, see Reed the fishmonger, and we'll get some other little snacky poos on the way down.
Don't you even dare. Oh, my good Lord. Yeah, buddy.
Man,
that's what we need to. We need to take a fishing trip out of Florida, catch some ridiculously stupid fat tuna, and go get it chopped up by Reed, and then we could sell a bunch of it because they buy that stuff for sushi, and then make money on the trip and enjoy a little bit of tuna, really good tuna.
There you go.
Oh,
that's a win-win-win.
Yeah,
I believe.
The best tuna I've ever had was straight off the boat. We catch a tuna. One of the guys on the boat caught a tuna, brings it up. They literally, I mean, he was only maybe, I don't know, he was just legal or whatever. They throw him up on there. That's like, see, this meat is still pulsating. And they're freaking eating it. It's like, no, you got to try this.
Yeah, at least soak that something.
No, dude, fresh tuna is so good.
Yeah.
They washed it off. They washed it off with some salt water, and it was flayed out on your table. And it was like, there you go, eat that. You'll try that. You'll love that. And it was the most amazing sushi I have ever had in my entire life.
Fresh tuna to the boat and doing some tuna steaks. That would probably be a bucket list. Saltwater.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would thin slice a bunch like it was Iberico pork.
Yeah, and I would just dip it in a little bit of soy and just wham, just smack it. Hell yeah.
Wasabi? No wasabi.
Wasabi.
Either way. I'm good either way.
Yeah,
I'm not a wasabi guy. It's not good.
Sometimes it's so intense it takes away of other flavors.
Well, I wish I could have like legit ground plant wasabi, which is actually not what most people are getting when they have wasabi. I promise you that.
Oh, go shop.
It takes it's like very difficult, or it takes forever to grow, or some whatever shit they say to keep it expensive.
Mm-hmm.
We did have in there for Big Ed from Terry Damon.
What?
That I like that. Yeah. Ed, who's the one of the most down-to-earth guys you have met from bass fishing? Mine was Ray Scott. And Terry, I know you wanted me to Terry sent me some photos of him like in the same picture frame as Shaw Grigsby. Didn't able to show those there. But, yeah, great question from Terry to Big Ed. He was really excited to see Shaw on here tonight. So thanks for the question, Terry.
I mean, honestly, Shaw has been probably that guy. He is just 100% been that way. But I really have not met any prima donnas in this sport. Like every single person I've met.
It's really good to hear, I guess.
Yeah,
I've met guys like Edwin Evers. I know these guys. Like I tell this story because
met everybody.
Oh, dude, I have been. I want to. Anybody watching this one right here, I will say this. I will give absolute 100% the biggest thank you in my life to Mark Lassane. Mark Lassane, the owner of Bass Angler Magazine, has given me. I'm the smart enough guy to take advantage of it and take, and just say yes. Just learn to say yes and go do things. That guy has given me more opportunities in this sport to absolutely grow a dream, to be around guys that I love to be around, to be with these guys. You name an angler, and I've probably met him. I had the probably most unrealistic deal happen to me the other day. I was sitting there on the couch. I'm watching TV. Look on TV and see this young kid, 20-something like that. His name is Lau. I look over and I go, I have a feeling that's Randy Howell's son. Pretty soon they're starting interviewing him a little bit. They show him riding around on the back of this boat, waving the American flag on his dad's boat, and his dad was Randy Howell. I lean over, I pick up my phone, and I call Randy. And I said, hey, let me get Lakers information so that I can have him on the show and I can interview him. I get a text back 2 minutes later. Absolutely, Ed. You got it, man. I'll take care of you. 3 minutes later, I had all of his information. At that point in my life, dude, I was like jacked beyond belief. I'm like, that happened? And by the way, Randy Howell is another one of those guys that's absolutely down to earth. One of the nicest human beings I have ever met in my entire life.
Because a lot of these guys could be prima donnas of how good they fish and how fast some of these guys blew up when they did. But it's good to hear they're not. That's so sick. Because what other sport where people don't walk around with a huge arm?
Say, when was the last time you went to a football game, walked out there and said, and shook hands with Travis Kelce, said, hey, what's going on? I'd love to hear how you did today and what you were doing out there. Probably isn't going to happen. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
You guys don't have Travis's number?
I don't want it. For the record, folks, I don't want it.
Oh, I would.
I'm all out on that whole situation.
Would you?
I have his number, but I'm not calling him. I love Travis Kelce. I'm a Chiefs fan, so I agree with that. But that's what I'm saying is that you have so many sports out there. I got to meet Will Clark. And I absolutely, this is a guy that I grew up as a young kid, a baseball fan. I got to meet Will Clark, and I loved him. He's from Louisiana, and he's one of those guys that is so much energy, so much everything. It was crazy. So, but I have met some other guys who are very, I'm better than everybody else because I have money and I have talent, and I'm not one of those people that I don't like that. It's just, I know a lot of people don't like that, but it is definitely not in this sport. I've met Kevin Van Dam, and I've played. I'll tell you the one thing about Kevin Van Dam that I will always, you got to respect it, but that guy is competitive. Like, we beat him playing cornhole one time at a Costa party. he was pissed that we beat him. like he was actually mad that my boss. So we were out there with Mark Lazane and I were on a team, and we beat him playing cornhole, and he was absolutely upset about it. Like he's just like, dude, this. He was mad. It was awesome.
Wild.
That is awesome. Yeah, it would be really disappointing in that world. But how could you be angry when you just catch fish all day and get paid to do it? I mean, I just don't
know.
I don't see the stress level in that.
I don't know, but I will tell you this much, and this is not a bash on these guys, but some of the guys that come across my stage from the Pro Tour or I'm not the Pro Tour, the Pro-Am stuff, it's a bunch of guys who I feel like I have to remind them all the time. It's like, you do realize you're out here catching fish, right? You're fishing for the day, like the weekend or whatever. I mean, don't take it so serious, because I've known the guys who I go to the Pro Tour and it is like a breath of fresh air to deal with guys who they put up more money, more effort. They go out, they do all this stuff. They have so much more to what they have to do to be professionals. And their attitudes have been awesome. They're great. They are people I love working with. And then you see guys who have expendable money, and they want to go out and they want to compete in tournaments, and they call themselves pros because they have a boat and they fish from the front of it. And that's what they say they're pros, right? And I get that. And I can appreciate what they do, and I appreciate that they're spending money. But on your taxes, when you write down, you're writing down, I'm a house painter, I'm a plumber, I'm a this, I'm a that. You're not writing down, I'm a professional angler. Guys like Ish Monroe, Shaw Grigsby, Kevin Van Dam, these guys are writing down that they are professional anglers. We got guys like Greg Gutierrez, fishing out here, one of the greatest of all time. He's represented our country. He's represented the West Coast. He's represented a ton. He's been all across fish. Still one of the most awesome people you'll ever meet. Bar none. He is one of the most awesome people you ever meet.
Oh yeah.
So it's out there, and you can be that way. Just don't choose to be the other way. Just don't take yourself so serious that it makes you mad that you went out and you caught some fish. Maybe you didn't do as well as you wanted that day. So yeah.
Welcome to fishing.
Yeah,
welcome to fishing.
Catching, right?
Yeah. But I mean, yeah.
Well, hey, Big Ed, awesome. Thank you so much for helping us line this up. We're excited to have you back July 26th with Ish.
Yeah, dude. Really appreciate this stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I
too cool.
Like I said, I love working with these guys. I was out to dinner with Ish and his wife the other day, and I looked over and I said, hey, I got this show I want you to do. And he goes, okay, give me 2 days notice. He goes, give me 2 weeks notice, and then give me 2 days notice, because I will forget, and then I will plan something over it. And I said, I will make all that happen. Don't you worry about it.
Then he sent me a picture of him at dinner with Ish.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a true story. We're looking forward to July 26th. Next couple of weeks on Friday, I'm not going to be here. Work. And then actually me and the wife actually have a dedicated getaway for the first time in forever. That's going to, yeah, I know. It's been much too long. So next 2 weeks, it'll be Johnsy and Damon running this shindig on Friday night. Forward to see what these two boys come up with here. They do a great job on Sunday, so I don't see why Friday would suck. So looking forward to seeing it. Definitely have the FOMO, and I'm going to miss it. Big Ed, thank you so much again for getting Shaw Grigsby here tonight. That was an absolute pleasure.
Not a problem. Can I say one thing before I go? One small thing.
Yes.
He has my most favorite wife ever right now.
Who is that? Paul?
You.
Oh, me.
Yeah. Oh no. By far, Alyssa is still one of my favorite people on this whole thing. I'm glad. I don't know why she's not on this show. She could totally talk you guys down.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Well,
I hope she's watching.
We're trying to make it, and we're not trying to just get smashed And
if she comes on here, like she'd have to be on here every Friday because everybody would expect to have her. Yeah, so they like her more than us. Yeah,
this is like the Girl Schmerls Foundation a little bit.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Well, give me some time, and I'll put like 4 or 5 different lady anglers on here.
all right.
We're about Hey, this is the Dude at Network too.
Hannah one that wrestles catfish. That'll work.
Catfish.
The Hannah chick, the noodles.
Yeah, Hannah Barone. Baron. It's either Baron or Barone, but I can probably make that happen.
All right, everybody. Well, hey, we got to get off here. We got to record tomorrow night's after party show after this. So we're going to get off here.
And there is something that was mentioned earlier that will be brought up, so you don't want to miss out.
Oh boy. Can't hardly wait. Big Ed, thank you so much, man. Have a great
dude.
Give Kristen a big
Thanks,
old
guys.
future for me, all right?
Will do.
All right. Dudes,
Thanks
dude,
again, sir.
thank you so much. Thank you, Big Ed. Thank you, Bass Angler Magazine. Thank you, Garage Bear. Thank you, MST Sauce Company. And until next time, we'll see you next time. Let's go.